Everyone, good morning. Can you confirm audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So where we stopped in the last session, let me open our workspace folder and open Jupyter. So yesterday we discussed about map, filter, and reduce methods, right? So syntactically, do you have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? No? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, map filter and reduce its work only for arrays, or it should be work for all the like
Mm,
in JavaScript it will work only for the arrays, no?
Yeah, here it
Okay.
is not call on any object, right? Okay, in JavaScript, if you observe array dot map, okay, but here map is like a direct predefined function, right? So directly you can use it. If you observe here, see here, if you see the map, did you call this map with any other reference? Did you
Oh,
call this map? No, right? Okay, that means what? It is like common for all or not? Yes or no? But the
yes, sir.
thing is, whatever the values you pass, that is an important thing. So here, the second one should be a sequence object. Sequence object means either list, set, tuple. Okay, this stuff. The first one, whenever you convert into list, it is expecting like what? A function. Okay, but the map you can call whenever you want. It is not a matter. Understood?
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it is not specific to area or something. Okay, like JavaScript, it's not specific to only list.
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? No? Okay, then. The next topic is like higher order functions. This one already we discussed. Okay. Which functions we can say we can call like a higher order functions? Which functions we can call as like a higher order functions? Higher order functions. Higher order functions. Okay. Anyone knows? Which function you can say like a higher order function? Hmm? You don't know? Okay, I'm going to write some code snippet. Okay, just you can explain. I have a function f1 or fn, whatever it is. Everyone knows about this function, right? Which take one argument. The argument type should be a function. Yes or no? The argument type should be a function. Everyone knows this syntax. Now, if I write like this, the error message also everyone knows. Integer object is
Not
integer
callable.
object is not callable. Not callable. So except function anything you pass, except function anything you pass, it gives me the same error or not. Integer function is not callable, boolean is not callable, like that or not. Yes or no? So to avoid this error, what we can say? To avoid this error, you can say like while calling fn, you should have to pass one argument. That argument type should be what? That argument type should be what? A function or not. So that can I write like a one more function. What is my function? Any function you can write it. That is not an issue. Print f1, right? Okay, done. Now if I call like this, the output is what? Everyone knows. What is the output? Come on, what is the output? What is the output?
F1.
Okay, the output is like f1. Okay, now if I call f1 is not defined. Why f1 is not defined? This one is not executed. Now you can check it. fn, my output is like f1 or not. This syntax already we discussed multiple times, right? But see here I'm telling like fn is a higher order function. Okay, my statement is like what? Fn is higher order function. Now, if I said like Fn is a higher order function, can you define what is a higher order function? Can you define what is higher order function?
The function will take another function as
The function which take, okay, one more function as a parameter or not. The function which take one more function as a parameter or not. That type of functions, wherever you see those functions, we can say like what? Higher order functions or not. Understood? The definition you understood or not? Okay, this is one way of creating the higher order function. The function which take one more function as a parameter, that type of functions we can say like a higher order. There has sometimes, okay, it is looks like this. Syntactically valid or invalid, you only tell. Okay, yeah, syntactically valid or invalid, tell me. Syntactically valid or invalid? Come on, this particular syntax valid or invalid? Come on, why you think more? This is valid or invalid? Are you able to hear me?
so.
Yeah, tell me.
That's invalid.
It is like 100% valid, right? What's wrong with this one? You created like one function, yes sir?
Yes.
That function contains some statements. That function returns something. This particular one, top level or outer function, if you observe, that is syntactically valid or not? Syntactically valid. If you come to the inner function, this is also what? Def f2 one parameter print that particular one. This is also valid, right? Yes or no? We are not 100% valid. Okay, now my output should be Sachin. Can you fill this gap? My output should be Sachin. Can you fill this gap? Come on, my output should be Sachin. While calling my F1, my output should be Sachin. Anyone? While calling F1, my output should be Sachin.
F1.
F1? Come on, your F1.
F1
F1.
call.
F1 call.
It holds non-variable.
It holds the return value. Okay.
That X call passing one value. X call passing arguments.
Argument is like this, Sachin, right? Yes or no? In a single line, how we can write? What is the type of my F1? One by one, tell me. First, what is the type of my F1? What is the type of my F1? F1 type is what? Function. So that you can call it.
Again
What
call
is
passing
what is the type of F1 call? What is the type of F1 call? F1 call gives me the
function.
return value. So what is the return value? F2. So F1 call is F2. F2 type is what? F1 call is F2. F1 call means return value of F1. It is F2. So F1 call means it is F2. F2 return type. Okay, F2 type is what? F2 type is what?
Function.
Function. If it is a function, what you can do?
Again call.
Again, you can call it. While calling my F2, if I call like this, exact error message tell me.
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. Exact error message tell me.
Expected one argument,
Ah,
but yeah, not passed.
yeah, positional parameter is mismatching, right? Yes or no? You are calling F2, you are not passing anything. It is expecting 1, but you not passed anything, right? Yes or no? So what you have to do? You have to pass like such. Within a single line, you can write like this or not. See, you can split this one in 3 sections. Okay, try to understand this one. One is this section. This is one section. This is one section. One by one, see. First, F1. What is the type? Function. So that you can call it. Done. Now this one. This is what? F1 F1 caller. F1
Call.
call. F1 call. Not only F1 call. Function call gives me what? Return value. What is the return value? F2. So this value is F2. What is the type of F2? By seeing that code snippet. Function. So that you can call it. Okay. The F2 function take how many positional parameters? 1. Okay. In Python, you should not pass more or less. You have to pass exact parameters, list or not. So that as per my requirement, the value should be what? As per my requirement, the value should be what? Such. So that the value is like what? Such. Here, I can say my F1 is like a higher order only. Okay. Can anyone define? I can say my F1 is higher order. How we can define? How we can define? The function which returns one more function or not. The function F1 which returns what? Tell me. The function F1 which returns one more function or not. That type of functions also come under. That type of functions also come under higher order only or not. Agree with me? That type of functions also we can say like a higher order only. All are okay or not?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay then. Okay. I have one more code snippet. Okay, just I'm going to write the code. You only explain. Okay. F3. Okay. Can anyone talk about this function? Can anyone talk about this function? Come on. F3 take how many parameters? One by one answer it. F3 take how many parameters?
One parameter.
One parameter. What is the type of this parameter?
Function.
Function. Based on this particular statement, you can say like a function or not. Okay. Now the F3 return type is what? F3 return type is what? F3 return type is like a function or not? Yes or no? So syntactically valid or invalid? 100% valid. Okay, let's call this function. Let's call this function. Can I call like this? Can I call like this? Tell me. If you call like this, exact error, tell me. Parameters mismatching. If I call like this, exact error, tell me. Integer object is not callable. So you required what? One more function or not? Yes or no? Now, can anyone tell me? If I write like this, for example, F3 of F5, valid or invalid? Come on. F3 of F5, valid or invalid?
Valid.
100% valid. Say simple, don't think more. This statement I'm executing, F3 is a function. Yes, first step correct. Okay, you passed some value. VIL is F5. F5 you are using like a function. That means my F5 should be a function. Yes, my F5 is a function, 100% valid. Can anyone tell me what is the X value? What is the X value?
None.
Just none. Perfect. None. Why? Because see, val is nothing but what? Your argument. What is my argument? F5, right? So you are calling val means indirectly you are calling F5. Function call gives me what? Function call gives me what? Return value. Okay, now tell me what is the return value of my F5?
None.
Is there any return statement? Is there? None, right? So my X value is like none. No? None plus 100, like that you are getting some okay unexpected output. By my output should be okay, not like okay none plus 100, not like that. I want 200. So what change is required? My X value, if you want the output is like 200, my X value should be what? My X value should be what? 100. What is my X value? Come on. What is my X value? My val return value. What is my val? My val is an argument, means F5. My F5 return value is what? Not there. So as per my requirement, my F5 return value should be what? Should be what? If you want to get the output is like 200, my F5 return value should be what? 100 or not? Yes or no? See now. Now come here. See, you can call from here. F3 you are calling. Okay, na? F5 you passed. Okay, na? This particular one executed or not executed with this statement. With this statement will execute or not? F4 method will execute or not execute? Come on.
Execute.
Executor.
Not execute.
Not execute, right? Okay. Whenever you call F4, then only it is going to execute or not. See, F4, you not called, you just returned. Return of what? F3. So F3 calling returns me what? F3 calling returns me what? Come on.
F4.
F4. F4 is which type? Function. So that can I call it? Now whenever you call return value is like F4. So my F4, this particular statement will execute or not? Yes or no? This statement will execute or not? Agreed with me? So now what is my output? What is my output?
200.
Okay, 200 or not? 200 or not? Agreed? So see, analyze the code. So how you can analyze means very simple. Whenever you see, for example, this is only the code snippet. Okay, now you can see f3 is a function which take one parameter, okay, or argument. The argument type is what? You can check entire body val where they used. Yes, in this location they used. How they used? How they used? They used like call. Whenever they used one reference as a call, the reference should be what? Function. So you can say my f3 take one argument, that argument should be a function. So whenever you call f3, you have to pass one argument. That argument type should be what? A function. So that I created a function. Okay, perfect. Now come to this statement again. So while calling a function, they see hold the value. Function call gives me what? Return value. So that you can understand like a val is a function. The val function call should return some value or not. So val function is val is what? Parameter. Parameter is what? fi. Fi should return some value. Why? Because he hold that value or not. Yes or no? Why? Because he hold that value. Yes or no? Come on. Okay, now you can say like what? Val is a function. That function call expecting some value, so that that function should return a value. Function call always gives me the return value or not. Like that you can understand like return value. You have to give it. Yes or no? So whenever my f3 and f5 you passed, when this function is going to execute, that is the question, right? So my f3 return value is what? Again, f3 return value. This one leave it. F3 indentation wise, this return statement is belongs to F3. This return statement is belongs to F4. So my F3 call returns me what? Come on. F3 call returns me what?
F4.
F4, right? Okay, F4. F3 call is this one, right? Returns me F4. So F4 type is what? You can see. What is the type of F4? What is the type of F4?
Function.
It is a function, so that you can call it. Whenever you call, okay, the F4 body will execute. In the F4 body, these are the two statements. One is like what? X value, you can get it calling your argument. The next statement is like he return the X value plus 100 he added. So that X value is like what? 100. Okay, the next value is like hard coded value 100. 100 plus 100, it's like what? 200 or not? Yes or no? Agreed with me? Come on. Okay, like this you can analyze the code. Okay, na? Any other questions, anyone? Anyone have any questions? No? Shall we move to the next one? Okay, then. The next one is like, we have this particular higher order functions, we call it like a pure functions also. Sometimes they are going to tell like pure functions. If anybody asks what is higher order function, you can say like the function which take function as a parameter, okay, or the function which returns one more function as a return value. Any one of this one you can satisfy, then that time you can say like a it is a higher order. Okay, if they ask like a pure functions also, same definition. If they ask like a decorator functions also, you can say like a same definition. Decorator functions also, terminology wise. Understood? If it is like a say higher order function, if it is like a pure function, if it is like a decorator function, okay, these all you can say like a higher order functions, you can say. Okay, so there has one decorator is there at the red decorator. I will tell. Okay, decorator and yield, these keywords we'll discuss later. Up here, okay. Shall we move to the next one? Okay, let's go. The next topic is, let me open our see, my requirement is very simple. Can you represent some data about one vehicle? I want to tell something about the vehicle. For that purpose, just you can represent some data about the vehicle. Any vehicle you can represent. How you can? I want to represent some data about one vehicle. Come on. Programmatically, I want to tell something about one bus. For example, how we can say? Tell something about bus. My bus front wheels like this. Yes or no? My bus back wheels like this. Yes or no? The next one. Come on. My bus color is like this. Okay. Now I want to find total wheels of my bus. Total wheels of my bus. That means what? Front wheels plus back wheels. You have to find the sum or not. Can anyone tell me? If you want to find the sum, okay, not only sum, if you want to write some functionality, where you want me to write? Why we go for functions in general, any programming language? Why we go for functions in any programming language? Tell me. To handle some functionality or not. That can be reusable. To handle some functionality. Here also, I want to handle some functionality. What kind of functionality that is? Find the sum of total wheels of my bus or not. Yes or no? Total wheels of my bus or not. Agreed with me? Okay, so in that case, I want to go with what? I want to go with what? Can I create one simple function? Can I create one simple function? Okay, now how we can create a function in general, normal way? How we can create a function? Tell me. def total wheels. This is my function. Here what you have to do? Here what you have to do? Tell me. Here what you have to do? Okay, I want to find the sum of front wheels plus back wheels, right? Yes or no? Come on. Agreed with me? Okay, FW, BW, color. These are looks like what? First three are looks like what? FW, BW, and color. First three are looks like what? Syntactically, first three are how it looks like. Come on. First three, how it looks like. First three, how it looks like. Wait. FW, BW, next color, next DF, total wheels, here print FW plus BW. First three looks like a variable, right? Don't think more. It's like a variable. Okay, it's a variable. It's a variable. Okay, these are like three variables, and this one is like a, it's like a function. Okay, so this data which is related to what? Related to bus, which is related to bus. He asked, hey, can you tell something about the car? Car. Then the time again you have to write like front wheels and back wheels and color. Okay, and color and something like this definition, total wheels. Yes or no? Wheels. So if I write like this, if I write like this, there has a conflict, right? Okay, bus front wheels, car front wheels. Bus back wheels, car back wheels. Okay, there may be chance of what? Okay, override the previous value with the new value possibilities. If you use like another name, there is no problem at all. But naming convention wise, I want to use this particular variables only. This particular variables only. So if I write directly like this, which is representing something about the bus, if I write directly some variables and functions directly like this, which represents some car, there is a possibility like what? Okay, this particular FW can override by some other value. The next one is like anybody can use this one or not. It's like a global variable or not. So instead of, if you know this particular data represents about bus, this particular data which is represent about the car, if you have that clarity, then that time the data which is representing something about the bus, can you do one thing? Can you keep this data inside one of the entity called as a class? Okay, one of the entity called as a class. Can I write like class bus? Yes or no? Now, can I keep all my data inside that bus only? Yes or no? Okay, the data which is represents what? About the bus. Then the way I need to write all this data outside. Can you keep that particular data which is represent about the bus inside this entity called as a class? What is the name? The bus class. Yes or no? Now tell me, this bus has their own values or not? Yes or no? Now global, you can see what? Bus. My bus contains some members. Okay, bus contains some members. It's not a global, right? So that no one can take this value. At the same time, no one can override or not. Okay, now onwards. Okay, my FW, BW, color, and total wheels. This data which is represent about one vehicle. Okay, don't write that particular data outside. Just keep, if the data you have a clarity which is represent something about the bus. Can you create one entity? Can you keep all the data which is related to bus? That entity we can say like what? That entity we can say like a class. Now, can you tell me the definition? Class contains what? What it has? The class has what? What my class has?
Variables and methods.
Now, if you observe here, simple definition, right? Which contains what? Variables. And this is like, so far I asked you, okay, just okay, terminology wise, I said like what? Function. But now onwards, this particular one, I'm calling like a method. Okay, I'm not calling like a function. Now you can ask a question, what is the difference between function and method? We'll see later. But for now onwards, okay, just whatever the function which is inside the class, don't say like a function, don't call like a function, just you can say like a method, just you can say like a method. Now tell me, my bus is a class which contains what? My bus is a class which contains what? Come on, my bus is a class which contains what? Some of the variables and, come on, variables and methods. Here how many variables are there? 3 variables are there. In future, if you want to write 300, you can write 300 also, no problem at all. Now here how many methods are there in my bus class? How many methods are there in the bus class at this moment? Only one method is there, but in future, how many methods you want, that many methods you can write it, no problem at all. Understood everyone? Up to you, okay? If anybody asks what is class, what is your answer? In Python, what is class? My class is a collection of variables and methods or not. My class is a collection of variables and methods or not. Okay, okay then. Now tell me, you created a class. That's okay, fine. Now the next step is what? Next step is what? You have some details about the bus. Okay, now I want to use those details, right? Okay, hey, I'm asking like how many bus for front wheels are there? How many back wheels are there? What is the color of my bus? Okay, what total wheels? How many total wheels? Like this, I can ask a question or not? Yes or no? So you created a class. Okay, it means It is like just represent something about you have, okay, in your mind, okay, just the bus which contains two wheels, okay, front wheels, back wheels, floor, like that. Whatever in your mind, just you put on paper, that's it. Okay, but when you can get the actual values, when you can confirm my bus has two wheels only, my bus back wheels are like four only, when you can confirm in general, whenever you see that particular bus physically or not, yes or no? Come on, that is only the thing, right? Now, okay, I have some data representation, that's it. This is the data representation about the bus. When you can confirm front wheels two only, back wheels four only, my bus color red only, when you can confirm, whenever the bus physically available, then only, right, I can say that particular bus has two wheels, front wheels, back wheels four, like that I can say or not. So class you created means it's a thought, okay, my bus can be like, okay, but my bus may be like this, it's like a thought, that's it. When you can get the service, when you can confirm, means whenever that particular object is available or not. Object is nothing but any particle, any particle. Whenever the object, in this case my object is what, bus object, then only I can confirm, I can use it, I can say confidently my front wheels like two, if you want to use you can use it, for a back wheels four, if you want to use you can use it, color red, if you want to change it you can change it, yes or no? When you can do it, whenever, if you want to color change, bus is available, right, then only we can change the color or not, yes or no? So class is nothing but, you can say like I have a thought in my mind, my bus data representation may be like this. When I can confirm, when I can confirm, yes, my bus front wheels two only, back wheels four only, when I can confirm, when I can get that color, when I can get the back wheels and everything, whenever the bus is available, then only, right? Yes or no? I can use it or not. So my bus available means, you can say terminology wise that particular object is available or not. Whenever my bus object is available, I can see front wheels how many, I can see back wheels how many, I can see the color, all this stuff or not, yes or no? So that if you have a class, what you can do, can you get the services, can I use that? If you have only class, is it possible to use, is it possible to get the services from the class? Is it ready to use? No, right? Okay, it's a kind of just I have a thought, that's it. Okay, I have a representation, data representation, but when it is ready to provide the service, when you can use front wheels, when you can change the front wheels, whenever the bus is available, right? Bus means whenever that object is available, right? Whenever the object is available, then only, then only we can do something, do some operations, or you can get some services from this particular class or not. Agreed everyone? Come on. You have a class, there is no use. If you have a class, there is no use. When I can get the services from the class, when my class is ready to use, when I can use that class, come on, when I can use that class, whenever that particular class physically available, okay, that object is available, then only I can use it or not. Then only I can use it or not. Yes or no? Agreed with me? Okay, I can say my class is like, okay, you said like a data representative. For example, okay, you want to construct one, okay, home you want to construct, for example. Okay, you have a site. Okay, there, first of all, what we are going to do, we have a plan, right? Okay, we prepared a plan or not, these many bedrooms are required, okay, this much, okay, space area is required, like that we have a plan, right? So first of all we can create a class, okay, just we can write like this, okay, your data representation you can put it in the class. how many bedrooms, all this stuff. Okay. Now, once my class is there, it means you have a plan. That's it. When these are ready to use, when my bedroom is ready to use, when my kitchen is ready to use, whenever you have that particular object, right? That means class means here you have a plan. Whenever your construction is completed, that means the home is available for us. That object is available for us. Whenever that object is available, then we can use it or not. Okay, till then, if the object is not available, okay, I have some, okay, space in that particular area, just I want to construct one home, the plan only I have. When that is available for us, whenever you construct, that means the object is available. Object is nothing but physically which is available for us. Whenever that object is available, then only this is ready to use it or not. Yes or no? Got my point? You created a class means there is nothing, there is no use. When it is ready to use means whenever you have an object or not. Object is nothing but physically that should available. That's it. Understood? Whenever the object is available, okay, it is ready to use. It is ready to use. Agreed? Yes or no? So, can anyone define the class? My class is a collection of variables and methods, you can say. If you write the class means you have a plan, you have a thought. Other than that, nothing. Okay. When it is ready to use, whenever your thought you implemented, okay, which is physically available, then only that is ready to use it or not. Yes or no? Whenever that is physically available means terminology wise, you can say like what? The bus, okay, my bus object is available, then I can do something about, okay, I can do something with front wheels, back wheels, like that. Whenever my home physically available, I can use what it has, okay, whatever it is, you can. Now, this particular class here, this is my object, right? Now you can define. You have a class means you have a thought, you have a plan. That's it. When it is ready to use, whenever it is like constructed, that means whenever it is physically the object is available, then only it is ready to use. That's it. So that if you want to use the members of a class, you should have to create what? Members is nothing but variables and methods. Okay, whenever you want to use like a member, one of the member is like a bedroom. Okay, if you want to use this member, first of all, what is required? Come on, if you want to use this particular member, what is required? The bedroom is available, right? Yes or no? That object is available or not? So if you want to use the members of a class, you should have to create what first? You should have to create what first? You should have to create an object or not. If you not create an object for the class, okay, you don't have that object means physically that is not available. Only you have a plan. With that plan, what I can do? Plan means only just you put on paper that is not available physically. Then what I can do with that one? Is it ready to use it? No. So that whenever you create an object, okay, then only you can access the members of the class or not. Yes or no? Understood, everyone? Got my point? So you created a class means there is no you have a thought, you have a idea, you have a plan. That's it. When it is ready to ready to use, whenever you created an object for that particular class, then only it is ready to use or not. Agreed? Come on. Agreed with my statement? So now onwards, wherever you see the class, immediately what you have to do? Wherever you see the class, immediately what you have to do? Tell me, immediately what you have to do? Immediately what you have to do? You have a class. There is no use. There is no use. If you want to get the services from the class, okay, then immediately what you have to do? You have to create an object for that particular class or not. You have to create an object for that particular class or not. Agreed with me? All are okay?
Yes,
Up
sir.
to here okay or not? Okay, now you can see the syntax now. Okay, it's like high level. Okay, my class is like a class contains variables and methods. Okay, other than this, there has some other stuff also there. Okay, syntax you can see each and every point we can discuss here. Okay, if you observe the syntax of my class in Python, tell me what is my syntax. First, we have a keyword called as a class. We have a predefined keyword class called as a class. Okay, here you have to write like what? Name of the class. Name of the class. After that, you have to go with the indentation. You can write that statements which are inside the class, you have to follow the indentation or not. The statements which are inside the function, you followed the indentation, right? Same like that here also you have to follow the indentation. My class contains what I said. Come on, my class contains what I said. Tell me.
Object variables and methods.
Variables, right?
Variables and
Variables and methods
methods.
or not? Yes or no? So the variables are different types of variables we can write it. There has one is like instance variables. One is like instance variable. Another one is like static variable. Another one is like local variable. One is like, okay, instance variable. Okay, which variable I can say like instance? We'll discuss. That is only our discussion, next level. The next one is like what? Static variables. The next one is like what? Local variables or not. So in my class, maybe instance variable can write, state variables, static variables can write, local variables also can write. That is your wish based on your requirement. Okay, which variable we can say like instance, static and local, we'll discuss. Same like that, we have methods also, different methods you can write it. One is like instance method you can write, another one is like static methods you can write, and another one is like class methods also you can write it. Another one is like what? Class methods also you can write it. Understood everyone? Come on. Okay, the next one is like, okay, the next one is like, this is not we discussed. Okay, constructor. Okay, what is this constructor? We'll see that one. So in Python, my class may contains constructor, may contains instance variable or static or local variable, may contains instance method or static method or class method or not. Yes or no? These three are like mandatory or optional. The class should contains all these three, na? Is my class should contains all these three, na? Should contains all these three? No, based on your requirement. If you want constructor, you can define it. If you want instance variable, you can define it. Variable itself not required, only method only required, you can use method only. Okay, don't write the variable. That is based on your requirement. Nothing is like what? Nothing is like mandatory. All are like optional only or not. All are like what? Optional only or not. Understood everyone? Come on. Okay, so by seeing this syntax, can we create one simple class syntactically? Okay, first of all, it is like valid or invalid if I write the class like this. Is it like valid or invalid if I write the class like this? Just you can write it. So let me open the new notebook. Okay, These are like OOPS concepts. We'll discuss. Okay, what is OOPS and everything. Okay, first focus on the class. There has multiple concepts are there. Once you covered all the concepts, we can say, okay, we can give the name is like these concepts, object oriented programming language related. Now let's go. Come on, tell me. I want to represent something about the bus. Tell me, as like a class. Okay, na? Can I write like this? Yes. My front wheels, my back wheels. Done. Now, if I execute this one, valid or invalid? If I execute this one, valid or invalid? Simply tell me.
So valid
Basic
one.
program. It's like valid, right? Okay, I didn't write any method. So is my method is like an optional or mandatory? Is my method is like an optional or mandatory?
Optional.
My method is like an optional or not. Okay, now if I write class bus, is it valid or invalid? If I write like this, is it valid or invalid? Is it like valid or invalid? I said like what? Nothing is like mandatory. But if you come here, it is a syntax error. See this, it's an syntax error. Whenever you written what? Whenever you have a block, okay, colon means in Python, it's like a block. My block should contains minimum one statement. Can anyone tell me which statement is the recommended one? I don't want any statement, but still I required one statement, okay, which is not affecting any functionality. That kind of statement, can anyone guess? One keyword is there. I need a function without any statement. Pass, right? Pass. Now, whenever you written like this, my class created without any members or not. Without any members or not. Okay, na? Okay, okay then. Now onwards, you comfort with the errors. Wherever you see the error, you have to analyze that error. You have to fix it. Okay, na? Okay then. The next one is what? My class contains. Tell me. Df get color. Okay, na? Print red. Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? Now, if you come here, it is like 100% valid or not. Now tell me, you created a class, simple class, okay, multiple times with different members. We are going to write the class. It's like simple basic class. If you create a class, okay, that means you have a thought, you have an idea, you have a plan. That's it. Okay, you have a data representation about the bus. Is my bus is physically available or not available at this moment? At this moment, my bus is physically available or not available? Okay, this concept is not only for Python, this is for any programming language. Okay, my bus is physically available or not available? Class means you said like it's a thought. Physically, this is available or not available? It is not available, right? It is not available. When it is available physically? Whenever object is there, object created, then only I can say like what? My bus is available physically or not. Yes or no? Okay, you have to create an object. So my question is, in Python, you created a class like this. So now question is what? In Python, how you can create an object for this particular class or not? Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no? Okay, so how we can create an object for this particular class? Okay, for example, as like JavaScript, as like Java, most of the times, if you want to create an object for the class, we are going to use like which operator? New operator or not? Can I try the same syntax? Can I try the same syntax here also in Python? Now, if I come here, see what happened. See what happened. See that. Is it like created or not created? First tell me. Okay, it is not created. At the same time, it is like logic error or it is like a you, okay, just not followed the syntactical error. It's like a logic, that means runtime error or syntax error. By
Syntax.
seeing it's a syntax error, that means you not follow the guideline of object creation or not. Yes or no? If you not follow, then you should have to follow. There is no other option. Syntax errors, there is no reasons you need to follow. That's it. So it is not working with a new operator. Remaining all programming languages, JavaScript to Java, .NET, okay, remaining most of the languages, they are going to use like a new keyword, so that it is not work with me. So can I remove this new? Can I remove this new? If I remove this one, now if I run this, it is not gives me an error. It gives me something else or not? Yes or no? Come on. Tell me. Okay, now I can say this is like a object creation. So whenever you create an object for this particular class in Python, just you can call syntax, you can use it. Whenever it is like a function, the function body will execute. If my bus is like a function or class or now, tell me, my bus is like a function or class or
Plus.
class. Whenever it is like a class, it returns me what? An object. Whenever it is like, for example, okay, this is also valid or invalid? Tell me. This is also valid or invalid? This statement is valid or invalid? Valid. Now if I write like this, what happened? If I execute this one, what happened? Now see the difference. This is also call, this is also call. What is the difference? Here the bus is what? Come on. Here the bus is what?
Plus.
My bus is a class. Whenever my bus is a class, it returns me what? One object, right? Yes or no? But here the bus is what?
Function.
Function. Whenever my bus is a function, it is executed the body or not. It is executed the body or not. Now onwards in Python, wherever you see something like this, don't confirm like directly it is a function. Okay, you have to analyze. You have to analyze more. Okay, it may be a, come on, it may be a class, it may be a function or not.
Function.
Possibility there or not there.
Yes.
Okay, this is only the proof. My bus here in this case, it is like a function. But here in this case, it is what? It is like a class or not. Whenever it returns an object like this, you can say my bus is like a class. Whenever it is execute the body of that particular bus function or something, then you can say like a bus is like a function. Yes or no? Agreed with me? Okay, let me delete this one. Yes, you have a, come on, you have a, what is this one? You have an object, right? Okay, it returns me an object. Whenever it returns an object, whenever it returns a value, how we can hold that value?
One
How we can
variable.
hold one variable, right? One variable or not. Done. One variable or not. Now, once you have an object, say this is my object, right? Okay, now whenever the object is physically available, I can access what? I can see the members of, I can access the members or not. Okay, now what is this error? We'll see that. I can access the members or not. obj.bw, obj.fw, obj. Come on, obj dot another one is like what? Get color or not. Like this we can access the members or not. What is this error? We'll see all this stuff in the next session. Understood or not? How to create a class, simple class, how you can create, and how you can create an object. Writing a class means there is no use. You have just, okay, some code you written, but it is not ready to use at all. When that particular members of a class we can use, it means that is physically available, means that object is available, then only we can use it or not. Yes or no? Wherever you see the class, first if you want to get the members of a class, if you want to access the members of a class, you should have to create an object for that particular class now onwards. Okay na? Come on, all are agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay then. Next, how to create instance members. The next one is like static members. The next one is like local class methods, instance methods, static methods. So all this stuff we need to add it or not. For now, I'm not specifying this is like a instance or static or local, not like that, right? We can use everything. If you know the OOPS concepts very well, okay, class or object, all the OOPS concepts I will tell. If you know very well, then the time you can easily understand whatever the code. Tomorrow, if you join for data science, okay, most of the predefined stuff is like they created like a classes only. If you know how to use the class, then the time, okay, their class also you can use wherever you want or not. So that these concepts are very, very important. Agreed? Okay. Okay, then we'll continue remain things in tomorrow's session. Thank you, guys.